I'm curious, if you could only buy one accessory for your new iPhone 12, comment what that'd be down below. Anyways, I myself have found some new favorites since that first episode, like this. So let's check it out. Let's start off with one of my favorite finds and new battery that I stumbled upon. Yeah, you heard that right. This is the rolling square towel, a battery that's packed inside this Tic Tac size container. It's fairly light and made of plastic, but it surprisingly doesn't have a cheap feel to it. But what makes it one of my new favorite accessories are these: a built-in USB-C cable on one side and a combo lightning and micro USB on the other. Plus, I really appreciate they use this thick rubber cable too, so it's not something I have to worry about tearing in such a small package, which is important because it's designed to be carried on a keychain, so it will get tossed and thrown around quite a bit, but I've been pretty confident that this can take a beating. Look, I know what you're thinking. This probably has a tiny capacity, and you'd be right. At only 1400 milliamps, it gives my iPhone 12 Pro a 20 to 30% boost and maybe a few more hours of listening time on my earphones too. But for me, that's exactly what I want it for: emergencies, as I rarely run low on batteries when I'm out and about, but knowing I have this just in case in my pocket relieves any anxiety that I'll still get to mindlessly scroll on TikTok on the go. Plus, given it's about the size of AirPods, having it on my keys means I'll never forget it. And to top it all off, the included magnetic charging dock can be mounted on your wall. That means not only will it always be fully charged, given it's as easy as setting your keys down when you get home, you'll also never forget to bring a battery with you, because you never forget to bring your keys, right? This is a tracker that fits entirely on your finger, like a regular ring. From the partner of this video, Oura Ring. Yes, the same Oura Ring the NBA recently adopted to track the wellness of their own players, which you may be thinking, well, my watch already does that. And while that is correct, the Oura Ring is able to fit most of that tracking into this tiny contraption. And don't get me wrong, I love the capabilities of an Apple Watch, but I hate that I have to wear a watch all the time. Having a chunk of plastic wrapped around your wrist just doesn't feel natural to me. But a ring, I can do. And I get it. It's not going to ping you when you get a text or even have as amazing tracking features for that hour-long intense workout session, but for the majority of you, myself included, the Oura Ring tracks the other 23 hours of your day that matters just as much without weighing down your whole hand in the process. Plus, I actually prefer it's not constantly notifying me of every like, message, or email I'm receiving. Seriously, you pretty much forget you're even wearing it. And the titanium shell with a scratch-resistant coating means you can go about your day and not have to worry about it getting beat up doing your mundane everyday things, like your boring 9 to 5, which I especially hated having a watch on while typing, or just doodling during your 4th Zoom call of the day, then texting your BFF LOL in all caps without actually laughing out loud. Maybe some intense gaming after a hard day of responding to emails with "per my last email," or "in case you missed it," then winding down the day with doing responsible adult tasks because yes, it is waterproof. And finally, pretending to be educated before inevitably falling asleep, which is where the Oura Ring really shines as one of the best sleep trackers, simply because it's one you'll actually find yourself comfortably wearing to bed. It then takes all that tracking data and spits out a readiness number, basically letting you know if your body is ready to go ham today, or if you've pulled an all-nighter, maybe just chill out and get a few extra hours of sleep instead. If you're like me and love to track everything but have no idea what any of those numbers actually mean, you're gonna love their app too, breaking everything down into 3 categories: readiness, sleep, and activity. The sleep section being my favorite, given we spend so much time doing it, so it's actually helpful that they break it down to the time you're in deep sleep, light sleep, and when you actually wake up auto-magically, plus then explaining why each stage is important and ways to improve, which is even more amazing when you remember they've packed all that ability into this tiny little doohickey that can last 4 to 5 days per charge. Another reason I tend to forget I even have it on, unlike this chunker that constantly reminds me it needs to be charged daily. So for those looking to keep track of how active they are during the day and how peaceful they are overnight, you know, the 2 things that matter the most outside of the gym, then check out the Oura Ring, the best sleep and wellness tracker I've tested that fits entirely on a finger. Links down below. You know I had to include a case, this time going to one of my personal daily cases, the dbrand grip case, but with a slight upgrade. You're still getting that textured edge, soft interior microfiber lining, satisfyingly clicky buttons all around, large mute marker cutout, along with a camera cutout around back that is raised enough to keep your lenses from licking the table, and of course those signature rubbery race strips that they claim make this the world's grippiest case, and I kinda have to agree, hence why it's one of my personal daily case choices. Now it does still offer plenty of protection around front in case you you really have butterfingers, and I do find overall it can handle your day-to-day clumsiness. But like the name suggests, the case is meant to stay in your hand, so it's great that it doesn't come at the cost in size or aesthetics to do so. What takes it to the next level though, and worthy of being featured, is literally this. Although this is the teardown skin they offer, they've updated the case to actually include a set of MagSafe magnets inside the case itself. So if you're a true Apple sheep and bought their futuristic MagSafe wireless charger, you're in luck, because now it'll grip just as firmly onto the case as it does a naked iPhone. Yeah, it ain't going anywhere unless you want it to. That means you're no longer restricted to the official Apple silicone or leather cases to use their MagSafe wallet as well. Probably the best MagSafe accessory Apple released so far, so being able to pair it with my favorite case is a win in my books. Now, dbrand is known for their selection of skins, and it's no different for this updated case too. Carbon fiber, camo, and my favorite, their new pastel colorways like this smooth banana looking one. So not only can you feel confident holding this in your hand, you no longer have to lose out on your new iPhone 12's fancy MagSafe accessories, and all while looking super hip too. Speaking of that Apple MagSafe wallet though, we finally have an alternative that also utilizes the magnetic mounting system. From MOFT, their new snap-on stand and wallet that they claim to be the first MagSafe compatible one available, which I wouldn't argue with, as I haven't seen anything else on the market like it. Now, it does look oddly similar, but they work completely different. First being the wallet portion that you have to flip down to reveal. It also holds up to 3 cards, and I personally prefer it completely hiding my cards away compared to having it slightly peek out on the Apple version. Plus, the MOFT version holds it in much better because of that in my scientific shake test, while still being easily accessible by simply peeling it open. Now, my main concern with third-party magnetic accessories, and should be yours too, is how well it stays put. And after some maraca practice and midnight hand exercises, it surprisingly does just as well as the real deal. So in the end, other than the Apple logo, you're getting double the features for half the cost, as it doesn't end there. When you origami flip the front open, your wallet also doubles as a stand. Great for taking Zoom calls in portrait mode or watching hands-free videos in landscape. You can also do this floating mode, which I can only describe as transforming it into a tiny workstation that surprisingly stays in place really well in my scientific poke test. Plus, a neat little bonus, if you want to stay juiced up while viewing your phone, you can sandwich a MagSafe wireless charger in between and the stand still firmly stays connected, which makes for a great charging stand that doesn't take up any table space when stored away. And if you really like mounting your phone in odd places on the wall, they've also made it compatible with their sticky magnetic wall mounts. In use though, even when packed, it still feels fairly slim for having a fully featured stand built into it. And while magnets can cause trust issues, I find as long as you don't purposely push it side to side, even when sliding into your pockets, it rarely fell off on its own. That is, as long as you learn how to properly pocket your phone in your slim fit jeans. This next one is a dedicated phone stand that may remind you of those impulse buys you'd find at the dollar store as you're cashing out. But from Elevation Labs, this is the GoStand, what I consider the new and improved 2.0 of that simple fold-out stand design, mainly thanks to this, an adjustable slider that lets you fit any size cases and at multiple viewing angles as well. Starting off with your common portrait angle for TikTok dancing, FaceTime, or just mindlessly scrolling, it stays docked throughout all of that. But flip your phone around, spread the legs open, and you can even keep it charged thanks to the fairly open design. Great if you plan on going ham with some mobile gaming, or completely change your viewing angle for a movie session as well. Seriously, the simplicity of this stand is what makes it so useful and work perfectly every time. It's even sturdy enough to hold my iPad Pro 11-inch in landscape mode and handle my scientific poke tests without worrying of it tipping over, which means bonus points for only needing to carry one stand for all my devices. They also take it one step further in materials. With the soft rubber grip lining and base, not only does it keep your phone from slipping and sliding around, you also don't have to worry about it scratching up the surface of your devices either. I honestly didn't think you could make such a simple design so much more useful, especially in a durable package you don't have to worry about tossing into your bag or even your front pocket, as it's about the thickness of a naked iPhone, which makes it a no-brainer to carry it together for any impromptu hands-free video sessions on the go. This is another seemingly simple product that does more than meets the eye. Singular. The SanDisk iXpand Sync is a wireless charger first and foremost, with literally the only thing that changes being this purple LED at the front. Although for just being a charger, it's actually pretty smart too, because when anything is caught between itself and the phone, it'll stop charging to avoid any potential overheating issues. Not something I've personally ever had an issue with, but good to know I'm safe just in case. Although the one minor issue with that is it can only handle really slim cases. Anything too thick, it'll think it's an optical and stop charging again. But it's a trade-off some of you may be willing to make for its other hidden feature, a whole backup storage drive built inside of it, which it then utilizes to auto-magically back up your photos and videos by well, just placing your phone on top of it like you normally would when charging your phone. I've got over 8,000 files myself auto backed up, and there's still a ton of space left, and it can even back up your contacts if you decide to switch from an inferior phone, Android, to say an iPhone. But the point of backing up to begin with was to save space on your actual phone, which it also lets you do by showing you your biggest files occupying that space and letting you delete it directly through the app. Great, because I've got a lot of those memories I want to keep, but like never actually look back at them. Plus, it can also segment different phone backups. So if you have someone that actually loves you, their phone can also share that 256 gigabytes of backup space by simply placing their phone to charge overnight. And don't worry, while you can re-download any photo or video through the app, you also have the option of plugging it directly into your computer as a storage device and browse through it like a regular hard drive is plugged in. So if you're an influencer or something and like to take a ton of photos of yourself eating a croissant, you can confidently do it with a full battery charged and knowing that you don't ever have to worry about running out of storage space again. Now, for the creatives out there or anyone that wants to up their Instagram game, you probably know by now that having more light is always better. That's where this Anker LED Flash comes in. Just this fairly small cube with a lightning cord sticking out of it. And they even include a diffuser that helps create a much softer light, especially when you consider the harsh and direct one that's built into the iPhone itself. This bad boy outputs 4 times the brightness, reaching 2 times the distance, with the most important part being you just plug it in and wha-bam. You can still use the dedicated iPhone camera app, no fussing around with having to learn any new software. So if you've ever taken any photo ever, you'd know that the iPhone Flash kind of sucks. That's mainly because it can only shine straight at you, making it flat, harsh, and creates no depth. However, by being able to angle the light, now you can actually control the mood of the photo much better. And being directly connected by lightning, it syncs and flashes perfectly when you take the shot. Now, if you prefer video though, click the single button on top of the light and bam, a constant video light. Although it only offers 1 power level, the soft light plus choice of angles still does way better than the stock iPhone light. And of course, it wouldn't be a photography accessory if you couldn't mount it all together, which is great if you use your iPhone to shoot everything, as you can also light yourself up when using the front camera too. Now, you may be worried about being tethered in, but the wire does stretch about the span of my arms. So don't worry, you'll still be able to achieve some pretty interesting angles. When I saw Joby release this universal grip, I had to have it, because this FreeHold grip has a few tricks up its sleeve as well. Made of mostly plastic with a large elastic band stretching the whole piece and some really sticky mounting tape around back. Once set up, it ain't going anywhere, and I prefer grips that sit flat so it slides in and out of my pockets without snagging. And as a grip, it works as expected, if not better, given how comfortable the elastic is, yet still providing a tight feel. But deep down inside, like yourself, it's more than what meets the eye. Slide it down and lock it in place to get a loop-like elastic grip that I can confirm isn't going anywhere on its own. And it's this top section that really matters, as it transforms a regular finger grip to a modular system with their included mounting options. Like my favorite, the wrapping arms. Not only does it make for a great dancing partner if you have no friends, it securely locks in place during my scientific shake test until you release the latch to easily slide it free. In use though, the arms are like a thick rubberized moldable wire that will allow you to stand your phone in a wide range of viewing angles when you set it down. But its real potential is when it transforms into a tentacle that can latch and mount your iPhone in weird and interesting places, as anything around you basically becomes a phone tripod now. However, it's not the sturdiest, and more for just taking out and quickly breaking out a TikTok dance challenge video. So for more serious work, there's the dedicated tripod mount that can be screwed into any regular tripod you have lying around already, and it's amazing how sturdy it is for being such a small piece of plastic. Now, what makes this special for me though is when you're done, because the mount itself is still usable on a daily basis as a comfortable and secure finger grip, which can be bought separately for under $10, as it's still a really useful option for you butterfingers out there, even if you never use the other accessories. So let me know in the comments what your favorite accessory is, or anything I should try out myself, but that's it. I rest my case.